We've got a sick fight coming up between two black African fighters. No, it's not Mike Perry versus Tyron Woodley.
What's good, my nigga? How you doing, brother?
It's Dricus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya at UFC 305, which is coming up Saturday the 17th of August. Now, if you're a subscriber of my channel, you will know that we're actually meant to be covering the Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz fight that's happening this Saturday, which we're going to go live for. The problem is, a press conference for Israel Adesanya and Dricus du Plessis has just dropped, and there's going to be so much hype around this fight. It's black on black crime. We got Dricus du Plessis as the current middleweight. Why is there a T-towel behind me back? As the current middleweight champion. We got Israel Adesanya coming back to try and reclaim gold. Israel Adesanya has lost the belt twice. Once against Alex Pereira, and then last time against Sean Strickland. So can Israel Adesanya get it done against Dricus du Plessis? There's a little bit of beef between these two, so we can expect that mental warfare. But guys, just so you know, I'm supporting the real African in this fight. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care about the peer pressure. The real African, that is Dricus du Plessis. Let's go, Plessis. Show Israel Adesanya how it's done. So we're going to take a look at this press conference. And then they also had a super intense stare down, which we're also going to take a look at. And also, if you're a fan of this channel, you like the content, make sure you like the video. Don't be lazy now. I see other channels in this same space who get far more likes and less views than we get. So come on, pull your finger out and start liking the videos, will yous?
When I started the journey in the UFC, I saw it play out quite a bit sooner. I always had the goal. I said, by the time I'm 30 years old, I'll be UFC champion. And unfortunately, with COVID taking away some time from me being able to fight more regularly in the beginning of my UFC career, I missed that goal by 6 days. I fought for the belt 6 days after my 30th birthday. So, no, that's the planning was almost pinpoint accurate for that.
And Dricus is 30 or 31 by now. He looks so much older. Not in a bad way. Like, he's super masculine. He's got that thick neck. You can tell the guy does wrestle at bridges in his training. But that's what happens when you fight, though. It ages you.
My first title defense, and obviously the first time that two Africans are on a main event of the UFC.
It does sound funny when he says that, two Africans.
History. And that's amazing. You know, two African-born fighters main eventing a massive.
There you go. He corrected it. African-born fighters. Good.
A massive pay-per-view event. That's history. So that in itself is a massive honor for me. And then, of course, fighting Israel, arguably one of the greatest middleweights ever. And that I wouldn't want to defend my title against anybody else. Once you become a champion, you have to realize, firstly, when you're in the UFC, there are no easy fights. Every single fight is the potential world champion you're fighting against. And then, of course, when you're at the top of the pile, when you are at the top of this sport and being a champion, everybody coming up is extremely hungry. Everybody's looking at you and figuring out and seeing the holes in your game, seeing what you do good, seeing what mistakes you make. And, you know, for a guy like Israel, he has been there for a very long time. Like I said, he is considered one of the best middleweights ever. But now, this is my chance to show that I'm one of the greatest middleweights ever.
Now, that statement at the end, I am one of the greatest middleweights ever, it sounds funny coming from Dricus du Plessis, because he's kind of a weird, awkward fighter. You look at all of his fights, and he dominates everyone. I think you just get hung up on his weird, awkward style, and the way he almost looks tired when he's throwing punches. He throws punches in a way that looks like it wouldn't work. Who else does that? Alex Pereira. In fact, a lot of fighters who throw weird punches tend to just win a lot and become champions. Guys, maybe this chase for perfect technique is overstated. Maybe you just need to be like Dricus and just have that grit, tenacity, and just actually pretty decent cardio and just push forward. The guy beat Robert Whittaker, and then Dricus du Plessis beat Strickland. I know there's controversy around that win, whatever. But I honestly feel like what we're seeing here is Dricus du Plessis going from strength to strength. He's riding high on that confidence. Dricus du Plessis has got what it takes to be one of the greatest middleweights ever. That is a big statement right there. But every time we underestimate him, he comes out there and he wins. So let's not underestimate the guy.
Question for Israel. Israel, you took a little bit of a break, man. We were able to recharge your batteries, so you're hanging out like Anthony Joshua and some other great champions as well. What's it been like to be able to sort of take some time to yourself and be able to, you know, recharge the batteries a little bit?
Yeah, a long break. This is the longest layoff of my fighting career. You know, 5 fights in 18 months, not as even a fighter, a champion. So it's not just the fights itself, the camps, the pressures of being the king of everything. So
we got to be honest. Israel Adesanya, love him or hate him, he's an active fighter. He probably needs the time off.
it was good for me just to remove myself from the game, enjoy life, took up golf, slow things down a little bit, kind of reignites that flame. And also taking the time off did that for me. So yeah.
Adesanya clearly, explicitly stating there that he lost that flame. Was it the fact that he lost the flame and the drive and the hunger inside his belly? Is that why he lost? Or was he just outclassed by a better fighter in Sean Strickland? Maybe he underestimated Sean Strickland. Is he going to underestimate Dricus du Plessis? Because it seems like everyone does.
For me, it's taking on the best warriors from different lands, putting them on my record. I've never beaten Dricus du Plessis. So beating him is what attracts me to this fight, not the belt. So those who have never ever been in our shoes will never understand that mindset. So yeah, the belt, I'm coming for heads, and I stick with that.
This is personal for Izzy. Remember that altercation that they had in the ring? I can't play it due to copyright purposes. Don't want another strike on my channel. But Israel Adesanya in this face-off was angry. He was talking about DNA tests for du Plessis. Israel Adesanya is angry that the real African is here to stay and he's taken over. The previous Nigerian era is over and du Plessis is the new breed. There is no longer Kamaru Usman, Nigerian nightmare. What's he doing? He's no longer champion. Francis Ngannou has gone. Just got KO'd by Anthony Joshua. Israel Adesanya is playing golf. What's he doing? It's the du Plessis show now, baby. I'm just having a little bit of fun with it, guys. I just know this fight is going to be good. And I'm trying to hype it up because I want to do more UFC live streams. I want to do more UFC content. But we got to build the views up for it. So if you like the MMA content, you've got to support it, guys. Right, so moving forward in the press conference.
Can you give us a bit of an insight into how mentally exhausting that can be, just holding off a whole bunch of guys who want a piece of you?
Holding off a bunch of guys who want a piece of you. That sounds good. That sounds good. No Diddy right there.
Did you do anything, apart from resting, did you do anything in particular?
Yeah, took up golf. Something different. Because I never ever thought, you told me 2 years ago you're going to love golf. What? It's stupid, but it's something different from my day-to-day. You know, every day is hard grind. And golfing, it's a way for me to get in nature. This summer was my way of getting outside. It's slow pace. I'm that dude on the course who takes his shoes off because I like to earth. And I get weird looks, but I'm like, bro, take your shoes off. It'll feel nice too. And it's cool. So I just took up golf, skydived a couple of times. You know, adrenaline, I need that.
Israel Adesanya, he's been playing golf. He's been skydiving. Whilst du Plessis, what's he doing? He's training like an African king. Let's go, du Plessis. Now the reporter asks Israel Adesanya about the tension between him and Dricus. Let's see how this goes down.
Israel, there seems to be a bit of tension between yourself and Dricus. Can you just...
Really?
A little bit. Can you just run through why that is?
Tension. There's always tension whenever you fight anyone. This is a fight at the end of the day. We're not playing chess, we're fighting. So there's always going to be tension there. We've had history over the years. It's almost like destiny. Because we met in the staff investor room in Thailand, Tiger Muay Thai, back in the day. Had a little play around. And funny enough, here we are again. It's like full circle, back where it all started for me, so...
When he says play around, does he mean like a little spar or like a little grapple or something? But then again, yeah, he will in Tiger Muay Thai, yes. So they've trained together. They understand each other. They understand each other's styles, okay. But Dricus is a completely different fighter from how he used to be.
He tried to discredit the Three Kings and say that he's the real true African champion. And
So who he's talking about there is Kamaru Usman, himself, Israel Adesanya, and Francis Ngannou. The Three Kings. Always got to bring that up, hasn't he? Three Kings this, the Three Kings that. Yeah, and it didn't last. Three Kings lasted about 3 months. I actually don't really know how long it lasted, but still. Du Plessis did not try and discredit the Three Kings. Du Plessis says he wants to be the first African-born fighter to bring the belt home. Israel Adesanya took him out of context. Israel took it as if the Du Plessis was saying that Israel isn't really African, when that's not the case at all. And Du Plessis explained all this. Israel Adesanya, he can be emotional at times. Now, obviously, he'll batter us all, and I'm actually a fan of Adesanya. But I just hate this false narrative that Du Plessis added out for the Nigerian Three Kings. Oh.
And say that he's the real true African champion. And I was just like, it's a weird mindset, bro. Like, he came in the UFC, I knew who he was a little bit, but I didn't go, oh, who the f*** is this fake dude coming in? I just said, cool, there's another African in the UFC. But then him discrediting me, Francis Ngannou, Kamaru Usman, that ticked me off a little bit. So that's what started this. But again, I'll finish it.
Dricus, do you just sort of have a response to what Israel said before about the tension between yourselves?
Yeah, no, for me, calling it tension, there's no tension for me. I get into the octagon and I do my job. I do my business. You can be the biggest asshole in the world. You can be the nicest guy in the world. I'm going out there to kill you. And I hope you're doing the same to me, because otherwise it's not going to be a good night for you. And as far as discrediting, never discredited anybody. Stating facts. Where do I reside? What's my postal code? Where do I train? Where do I live? Where was I born? In South Africa. Still there, still training. And I won this belt from South Africa. I didn't travel anywhere else. That was the only thing that I stated. So never discredited anybody, but quite frankly, I don't really care about how it rubbed him off the wrong way. I don't care.
I don't really give a f where he's from, but I'll show him who he is.
Ooh. Adesanya just reminding you that he's got bars. You know who else has got bars? Me. Check out my music in the description.
Yeah, whatever that means.
See, one thing I like about Dricus du Plessis is when Israel Adesanya comes out with something quick and witty and tries to do a mic drop moment, Dricus just goes, yeah, whatever. He doesn't buy into it. He then doesn't try and come back with something smarter. He just brushes it off his shoulders. And I honestly believe that Dricus is coming into this fight super, super confident that he's going to win it. Of course, they both are, but I just like his demeanor right now.
I'm glad you took up golf, because, you know, that's a retirement sport. I can understand you start playing golf.
Hey, there was the comeback. Okay, I was wrong. Dricus did have a comeback.
Time.
And Dricus, I suppose you're the champion.
Golf, because, you know, that's a retirement sport. I can understand you start playing golf.
Hey, man, you do what you have to do in your own time.
Israel Adesanya not really fazed by those comments there.
Israel lives in Australia now. You're going to sort of come in with a bit of target on your back from the crowd like Steve did not long ago. How do you plan to handle that?
I've been fighting the crowd ever since I got into the UFC. If the crowd is cheering, if the crowd is booing, it's noise, and you know, it's electrifying. Obviously, fighting in Canada, the crowd was against me, and I won that crowd over. They were chanting my name by the end of the fight, turning haters or turning the boos into cheers, not because of what I'm saying or how I'm doing it right now, but because of my performance. At the end of the day, I'm a fighter, I'm a warrior, and the people pay to watch that.
And the reason why he wins people over is because he's a likable character, and he brings the fight every single time. Dricus du Plessis doesn't really have boring fights. You know, the Sean Strickland one, but all of Sean Strickland's fights are kind of boring, and it's because he has people backing up all the time. If the people just stood there and planted the feet, then Sean Strickland's fights would actually be quite exciting. And to be fair, the moments where Dricus du Plessis did actually plant his feet against Sean Strickland were exciting moments in that fight. Now here, Israel Adesanya talks about what he's been doing with his time off with regards to his training and adding more weapons to his arsenal.
After your time off, do you feel like you've added more weapons to your arsenal for this fight?
Definitely. We've shuffled the deck at the gym. We kept what was useful and discarded what wasn't. Added a lot of different tools to my game, and I look forward to showing off.
Now, will Israel Adesanya have more weapons in his arsenal? I'm actually inclined to think no, to be honest. I think maybe we might see a little bit more output out of him. But I think, you know, he's going to be the same old Izzy. If Israel Adesanya's watching this and you prove me wrong, fantastic. I will happily eat my hat if you come out there and you're no longer just spamming leg kicks, staying a distance. That's pretty much the main highlights of the press conference. Now, we'll obviously get a bigger press conference closer to the actual fight date. The media give better questions. A lot of the time when you're at these press conferences, the media say stuff like, are you looking forward to this fight? If you win on Saturday night, what will this fight mean to you? How does this fight impact your legacy? Like, just stupid questions that doesn't get both fighters going back and forth. It doesn't create any sort of animosity. There's no little clips that you can create for Instagram or TikTok, little viral moments. But the media here like the fact that they were asking more probing questions. Now, were the exciting questions? Definitely not. But it was a slight change from the usual templated questions that the media ask. Right now, let's get to this face-off. This is pretty intense. And once again, big thank you to the UFC, because this has got no audio, so it looks like you're going to have to listen to me instead. So is Israel Adesanya in the center? Have we got it set to 1080p? No, because it's impossible to get Mac Life content at 1080p these days. What the hell? Why can't these big media companies get 1080p video with audio? Damn. Right, so du Plessis comes in. No audio. Yeah, there's literally no audio. So Israel Adesanya looks strong right now. But du Plessis is looking intense. He's analysing him. He's like, you think you've got me? You gonna come into my space and take my African king status from me? No chance. You think you're the Nigerian nightmare number 2? I am the South African-born king. Look, du Plessis, he looks intense. Israel Adesanya looks slightly less intense. Du Plessis took one little step towards Adesanya. Adesanya stepped back first. Adesanya's scared. He stepped back first. But look, du Plessis is like, he's game. He wants it. He wants that smoke. He almost looks happy. He almost looks turned on. The fact he's getting ready to fight Adesanya. Oh, they're still facing each other. I love it when this happens. They're meant to face forward for the picture opportunities. This is intense. Oh, damn. Look at them. That's now being almost 90 seconds of them staring into each other's eyes. I'm telling you, du Plessis is the type of guy where he'd want to pull your pants down and give it to you. And he'll take Polaroid pictures of it and plaster it round the town just to play mental games with you. Du Plessis is that guy. Now, just a quick little word on this fight. I think du Plessis can get this because I'm liking the momentum that he's got coming into this fight, and I just like his confidence in himself. Apparently, he trains like a madman. The gym that they train out of in South Africa, apparently the guy goes around with a whip or something like that. I'm not too sure how true that is, but anyway, the coach, everyone fears, and they train like crazy, and that's why du Plessis has got such a good gas tank. Also, Israel Adesanya doesn't do well with those pressure type fighters like the Sean Strickland style, and du Plessis has kind of got that style. But I think we're going to see du Plessis put the pressure on Israel Adesanya and probably wear Adesanya down over the 5 rounds. It's going to be interesting. What are your guys' initial thoughts based on this press conference? What did you think about what they said? Any early predictions? Be my guest, post down below. Make sure you like this video. As I say, guys, if you like this MMA content, then support it. I get loads of yous commenting going, oh, more MMA content. But then when it comes out, it gets barely any views. And yous don't like it. It'll get 600 likes. We can't even get the video to 1,000 likes from 20,000 views. So come on, 10, 15, 20,000 of yous watching these videos. Like the videos. It's direct feedback that tells me to do more of this content. If I do a video that pops off, gets loads of views, but barely any likes, I know that people are just watching, they're not subscribing, and they're not really truly engaged with it. Whereas if I do a video and it doesn't get that many views, but it gets loads of likes, I'll do more of that content. So there we go. Appreciate you all. See you tomorrow.